deep in the heart of Central Texas. It's the Best of the Outdoors podcast, brought to you by Texas Fish and Game Magazine, the voice of the Texas outdoor nation. I'm your humble host, Dustin Von Warncke, associate publisher for Texas Fish and Game Magazine, and I'm so excited that you have taken the time to download this show on your mobile device, stream it online on your computer, your desktop, whatever you are doing or however you are listening to this show right now. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. I love you guys all, every single one of you guys that listens to the show. I appreciate, and if I ever have the chance to meet you in person, I'll give you a big hug, okay? That's the kind of guy I am. And some of you guys I did meet at the Houston Fishing Show, especially Orlando. Love you guys so much for coming by and saying hi and telling me how much you enjoy the show. You can connect with me on social media. I've got a website called dustinsprojects.com. You can find me on the Texas Fish and Game Facebook page. I monitor that, as well as you can just email me through my website or find me on social media. You can always connect with me and friend me on Facebook. My personal profile is public, and just love you guys. Love you guys so much. So today we're going to do another solo show, because I needed to do 3 podcasts this month because we had a few more advertisers come in this month than I was expecting at first. We normally do this every 2 weeks, but this month you're getting 3 shows. And we did one last month, or last couple of weeks. I guess it was last week that it released, when this one releases, and that was on turkey hunting and turkey revolution for Chester Moore. I've got a couple of sponsors I want to plug on this show, and one of those is Progressive, and the other one is Texas Hunter Products. Not in that order, but basically I want to get those done and just do a good product review video podcast. That's almost a video. I do so many YouTube videos and stuff, and I have good relationships with some of these companies on Amazon that contact me and reach out to me because I've heard through friends and friends that I review product and stuff like that, and I do. I enjoy doing this stuff. I love the folks that are across the pond in the Far East. Very, very kind-hearted people, and I love reviewing new stuff that's going to help you be a better outdoorsman or outdoorswoman, whatever the case may be. And that's one reason why I do this show, is just to give you the best of hunting and fishing and camping and hiking and all that encompasses the outdoor lifestyle, and give you a show that is of hope and inspiration and just of empowerment, that you can get out there and get stuff done in the outdoor lifestyle. You don't have to have an expensive RV or a $100,000 boat or any of that stuff to just go get you a can of worms and a cane pole and go out there and catch some fish. To get out there in the WMAs of the Texas land and get out there and shoot you some squirrels, or whatever the case may be. There's just a lot of opportunities out there for hunters and fishermen in our great state and beyond. I know a lot of you guys listen outside of the Texas realm, and I really appreciate you guys really for tuning in, because this is a Texas-based show, and we are Texas Fish and Game Magazine, but it is by no means exclusive to just Texas stuff that we talk about. The reason why I made this kind of a Texas show, though, is because Texas is such a diverse melting pot of all kinds of different flora and fauna and wildlife and fish and all kinds of different stuff. We have freshwater, we have saltwater, we have big game, we have small game. We have just a whole mix of all kinds of different stuff. And I mean, you never get bored in the Texas outdoors. And I thought years ago when I started this podcast, 4 years we've been celebrating this now, it'll be 4 years in May. I kind of thought for sure that I'd run out of stuff to say. I'd run out of topics. I really did. And Chester keeps on putting this editorial calendar in front of me and challenging me to come up with new guests and new topics and new things like that. And man, I'm never going to run out of stuff to say. I've kind of figured that out over the years. So, first of all, before we get into the content of our show, product review show, okay? Mashup of all kinds of different products that I've been reviewing on fishgame.com. I've been reviewing these on my YouTube channel. I've been reviewing these on my blog and on the fishgame.com blog and our YouTube channel and all kinds of different stuff like that. So I've basically been covering the spread on a lot of these products, but I wanted to give this in the podcasting format so you can kind of get more definite explanation of what I'm talking about. I've just totally loaded the show notes full of links and full of places you can go to check these products that I'm going to list and talk about more. These are all products that I've owned. These are all products that I've worked with. These are all products that I cherish and I think will help you be a better outdoorsman. I'm a big gear guy, if you guys know me, and I just enjoy encompassing the outdoors of getting, gear that's going to help me see better in the outdoors at night, flashlights, that kind of stuff. I'm like the flashlight guy. A lot of people know me as, because I do so many flashlight reviews. But I really like a good quality piece of outdoor gear that's going to help me do what I do better in the outdoors. And that's the whole idea of bringing the show to you this week. And take care of some sponsors that are helping us pay the bills as well, and we appreciate them as well, especially Progressive and Texas Hunter Products. And let's dive right in. Texas Hunter Products fish feeders. Do a little ad spot here, a little live read. With Texas Hunter Products fish feeders, few things compare with spending a day out on the lake with friends and family. Their fish feeders are made of heavy-duty galvanized steel that's powder-coated, and they come in 3 sizes, all designed to work maintenance-free and virtually anywhere. From the water's edge, on a lake, to a shady embankment under some trees, or on that favorite dock over a special spot you enjoy, Texas Hunter's fish feeders are fun to use, feeding fish on a regular schedule or growing bigger fish faster, I should say. The patented feeders create a feeding zone, drawing fish into the area and making fishing fun for kids and adults alike. Built to last and maintenance-free, that's the Texas Hunter Products fish feeders. Watch the video at texashunter.com. That's Texas Hunter Products, America's choice for outdoor products for over 65 years. Check them out at texashunter.com. What a great website name to remember, texashunter.com. You can easily remember that. So basically, my relationship with Texas Hunter Products is they've been one of our advertisers here at the magazine for a number of years now, and we really cherish Chris Blood and those guys over there, because they are really part of the Texas outdoor lifestyle and the Texas outdoor nation in a lot of ways. But they have something that is can be used for people that fish, that have their own lake property, the lake rental, whatever the case may be, their own boat dock, anything like that. You can put these feeders virtually anywhere, and they feed out. And one of the funnest things I love to do with fish feeders is fish for carp under fish feeders. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for doing that, but you want a fight of a lifetime. You want to fight with something that fights you like you owe him money. That is a common carp, and fish feeders can bring them in and bring in a wide variety of other fish that you can obviously target with your fish feeder pellets that you put in that thing. And I really love these guys. It's Texas Hunter's Products. They obviously have a lot of different outdoor products for hunting. You've got blinds, you've got feeders, you've got all kinds of accessories and stuff like that they do, and I really have a lot to say about the quality of their products. And I've hunted with a lot of their accessories and products and stuff, hunted in some of their products and that kind of stuff, and used Texas Hunter Products. So I give you a big recommendation to go and try them out if you've not done so already, or buy some more stuff from them through your local dealer or by visiting them at texashunter.com. That's texashunter.com. Now for our second advertiser of the podcast, we're going to get a little quick word from Progressive. This is a really cool commercial. I think you're going to like it. Here we go.
Drop the anchor, will you?
Sure, Grandpa.
You tied it off, right?
Tied what off?
The anchor. And the rope that the anchor was attached to.
There's a reason they say curse like a sailor.
Oh.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Many reasons. Progressive's boat insurance has you covered. Quote today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
So much for fish for dinner.
I like that one. That's funny. I've got some other Progressive ones coming later this year. They're one of our sponsors, obviously, in the magazine, and so I wanted to do some extra sponsorship with them, and decided to offer them some podcast spots. So that was kind of funny. More fun stuff to come from Progressive later. So Progressive Insurance, obviously, you know where to find them. And there's just a lot of fun stuff happening these days in the old podcast. So let's dive in to what we're going to talk about this episode and get into some stuff. Oh, but before I get into the product review part, let's have some fun. Let's talk about something real quick. I basically am a big fan of kids in the outdoors, as you know, and my son Jackson has gotten a little bit too crazy on the Xbox One once we bought him that. I shouldn't have bought him the headset. I'm used to wearing a headset, obviously, for this podcast, and I got him a headset with a microphone on it, and he's like addicted to that Xbox One, talking to all of his friends all over the world and stuff that are playing these Fortnite and all these video games online. And I basically just wanted to kind of give some kind of interruption to that, some kind of hard break to the gaming and the chatting and all the stuff that he does. And then if he's not on that, he's on his cell phone, doing stuff. So I'm trying to get him weaned off of more of the technology stuff and more in the outdoors. So what I want him, I think I talked about this in the last podcast, but I want him a hog dog hunting trip to Taylor, Rockdale area, with Jason, I forget, I think it's Jason Schweitzer, I think is the right way I say his name. Anyway, he's with Adrenaline Junkie Outfitters out of Taylor, Texas. You can find them up on Facebook. I just wanted to give another plug if I didn't talk about this in the last show. I think I did, though. Anyway, dogs, knife, Jackson did great. Got us a big 250-pound hog, or 225-pound hog, rather. Tusks were about 2.5 inches on either side. Entered the tusk, the score of the tusk into Chester Moore's new record program called Boars of America Record System, or BOARS, and which is the acronym that spells boars anyway. And Jackson got a signed copy of one of Chester's books, Hog Wild, which is all about hog hunting and pig hunting and stuff like that, and biology and facts and hunting methods and stuff like that. Really good book. If you haven't picked that up, you can check that out at fishgame.com. There's a copy of it available you can buy today and have shipped straight to your house. But Chester basically is doing a hog scoring program with this new Boars of America, and Jackson's going to be the first entry into the hog scoring program, or into the Boars of America program, for the open class, and that's dogs, traps, and high fence. I'm pretty sure those are the three categories. And dogs with a knife and so on and so forth is in the open category. Jackson made the first entry, so he made history. So I took the plaque, and this week, or not the plaque, the certificate that Chester sent with the book, and I took the certificate and put it in a certificate frame, and it is up. It looks awesome. I'm so excited for my kiddo to get recognized like that. And he was excited to get out there and get him a hog, and did really exceptionally well for his first time being that close with unbridled nature as far as an angry boar in the woods with a bunch of dogs and a bunch of chaos. So he did really good with that. Then prior to that, I took him on a catfishing trip with Roy Simmons, Gone Fishing Guide Service. Incredible guide, guys. I've talked about this before. What makes a good guide is one that is there to work for you, that's there to work patiently, that's there to care about what you're doing, that's there to help kids, have a good time. And Roy spent all the time in the world just constantly on our, refreshing our bait, making sure that we were feeling for the fish, making sure Jackson was catching fish. I mean, just really, we caught a box of about 46 catfish. We normally could have caught up to 75. Normally a good box is about 50, so we were close, and we fished for a few hours, tied up to some limbs on the Richland Chambers Lake, Chambers arm of the lake, and just tied up to some old trees and some stuff that were submerged timber out there, and that was holding catfish real well in that structure. And I can't say enough about Richland Chambers and Roy Simmons. This is the second time I've been on this lake, because we went summer of 2017, I think it was, white bass fishing, and we limited out by 9 a.m. I mean, it was a wild trip, and Royce Simmons did so well. Royce and Adam, his son, handle that guide service together, Gone Fishing Guide Service. You'll see a lot of their pictures and stuff of guys that they've had communications with, that have gotten their pictures featured in the magazine through their guide service. And Royce is one of our hotspot editors too, and I love the guy. Just love him to death. He's just a great, good Christian man. He's got good values, and he really cares about being a good guide. He's a good example of a good guide, so I wanted to give him a special plug on this podcast there. Roy Simmons, Gone Fishing Guide Service, look him up online. And Richland Chambers Lake, heck of a lake, one of the bigger lakes in Texas too, as a matter of fact. And just a really special time in the outdoors with my father-in-law, myself, and my son. It's just, it doesn't get much better when you do family in the outdoors the right way, and hiring a guide instead of going and buying a boat and getting the boat payments and all that other stuff is sometimes a better economical choice than having a boat that's in storage all the time that you don't use. But I mean, hiring a guide is just incredible. And I mean, they will really, really work hard for you if you find the right one. And Royce is definitely one of the right ones. So, that all being said, I also took Jackson to Crosswaters this past weekend. Crosswater Outfitters is my fishing ministry. I talked about that on the last podcast. What do I say, man? We had rain, we had lightning, we had thunder. I spoke on Saturday of the event. I gave my whole speech about the new normal and things that happen in life and stuff like that, and really enjoy having the time to visit with all the people there. And we were with a major and her family. She was one of the administrators of the WTU, the Warriors in Transition Brigade Unit, or the Warriors in Transition Unit, and then we're part of the Warriors in Transition Brigade that basically helps the military soldiers and stuff exit out of the military. And I do the new normal as a speech to talk about, just basically accepting the new changes that are coming into your life and being ready for them and how to handle them with God's grace and Jesus' love and all this other stuff that is important in the spiritual walk that we have. So anyway, that was good. Jackson had a lot of fun, caught a bunch of big catfish. He helped me clean catfish. He's getting really good at doing that too. So I'll try to put a picture of him kissing a catfish up on the show notes if I remember, but that was a lot of fun. But my whole point in saying all that stuff, I'm not trying to tout myself as being a great dad or anything that I do, what I do for kids. I just, I have a heart for families in the outdoors. And I think the more that families get in the outdoors and really experience the outdoors together, I think it's a bonding process. It's a process you'll look back on. I just look at Chester Moore. He lost his dad here a few years ago, and some of the most fondest memories he has of hunting are hunting with his dad. And I feel that way hunting with my dad, who's still alive, I'm blessed to say. I feel that way with my kids, because all we have is each other, and we don't have each other for a long time sometimes. And so basically just cherishing those moments in the outdoors and bonding with each other through the outdoor pursuits, I think, is just so vitally important. All right, speaking of that, let's talk about some gear that you can use for having fun in the outdoors. And I'm about 17 minutes into this, and we haven't even talked about the subject of the show yet. I apologize. I did the ad spots. We did the Jackson stories. And we're going to basically, first of all, we'll talk about things in groups. First thing's game cameras, all right? A lot of questions I get on game cameras. What are some good ones? And I've used the same ones that you can find at your Walmarts or Academies or whatever all the time for years and years and years. They cost about $100 starting off, go up to $300-$400. Cell phone cameras, all that other stuff that basically, work off cellular service. And I've got one of those. I'm not reviewing it because I had an issue with it. And it's coming back to me from China. I had China actually repair it, and they're sending it back to me. And that's where some of these products come from, but that doesn't mean that they're subpar quality. This one I just had bad issue with. The other two cameras I'm going to talk about, the Winghome and the Campark, are both Chinese companies, but they're sold here in America on Amazon. And I've got links to all this stuff that I'm giving you on the show notes. Just go to the show notes, and there's the link for the Amazon product. I've had a lot of really good luck with Winghome game camera. That's Winghome trail cameras, the model 290C. I took it and reviewed it, and then I sent it to Chester, and Chester is using it in the woods as we speak. It's got a really good picture. The thing I've always wondered about game cameras, and this one's like under $100 too. You open them up, and I want to see a viewfinder, so I don't have to carry an extra piece of equipment in the woods. And basically, have a way to look at all my pictures and check out all my pictures and videos and that kind of stuff. I like to have something that plays back inside the camera instead of having to carry a camera of my own, a handheld camera or a, other kind of device that has a screen on it where I can see what I saw. And that's starting to be more common with game cams these days. But the Chinese have really innovated a lot of this stuff into what it should be. And I mean, they're still making them waterproof and longevity and quality and everything like that. But that's what I've always wanted. It's just a dang screen so I can see what's going on. And so anyway, Wing Home basically they're the first experience that I had with an overseas game camera, and I've had a lot of success with it. So as Chester, he's taken the same one that I gave him, and it's worked out well for us, very well. So it's just one of those things that you have to decide what you want. But I mean, you can order this stuff off Amazon and get it for less than $100. You could buy a couple really and not really lose much. Even if they only lasted you a year or two, I mean, it's still cheaper than paying what you would from the other companies that are more prevalent and known in America for game cameras. And but I've had good luck with the Wing Home. The other one's the Campark. That's the second one that I reviewed. Using that one right now, as a matter of fact. It's got a good battery life on it. So does the Wing Home. It got a wider view than the Wing Home. The Campark does, basically, that it has like 120 degrees, I think, is what it is. That reaches out there and can catch movement. It's got 3 different IR sensors that can catch movement from all kinds of different directions, and is a wider view and wider field of motion to it, the motion detection to it, I should say. And anyway, it's another one that this one instead takes a micro SD card, where the Wing Home takes a standard SD card. So you got to make sure you're prepared with that. And if you fill out one of their surveys or do one of their reviews and stuff, you can get a free 16 gigabyte, or maybe it's a 32 gigabyte. I can't remember which one, but you can get a free promotion that they're doing to get a free chip SD card for your micro SD card for your camera. But anyway, those SD cards and micro SD cards are easy to come by these days, unlike they were years ago. So I've just had good luck with all of them. I mean, both of them have just been great. And I'm going to plan on reviewing some more of them in the future, because I really like value and price to be good. I like the fact that if I want to spend money on something, I have to spend money on it one time, and then I don't have to spend a lot of money on it. And if it's not spending a lot of money, in a way you can look at a game camera as being disposable. But if you're spending $200 or $300 for one, you don't want it to be disposable. You want it to last for a lifetime, or at least several years. And a lot of the game cameras that are out on the market are just kind of so. And these I think will last a long time, and they will last. They will last the ages when it comes to longevity, because they're good waterproof cameras. They're solid in the way that they're built and everything, and they're smaller than a lot of the game cameras that I've used before in the past. And they have a viewfinder. It's all I've ever wanted in a game camera. Just give me a viewfinder so I can see my pictures and my video without having to carry another camera into the woods. So there you go. Wing Home trail camera model 29C, and then the Campark trail camera. I've got the links to both of those in the show notes. All right, rifle accessories. I have worked with Dr. Basil Pearson for the last 5-6 years now. So I built him a website in 2013. He's one of my website clients that I work with on the side, and basically he came up with a universal dovetail short rail that basically fits on just about any rifle or shotgun that has a 3/8 inch dovetail. And basically what you do is you drift out the rear sight, which is usually where the dovetail is. I've got an old Stevens rifle, for instance, that has the dovetail rear sight. And you just drift it out, drift in his base, and you screw in the Picatinny rail on top of the base. And it's a really slick, solid, no drill, no tap, no gunsmith needed rail. That's what he came out with after he came out with the Winchester 94 and the Rossi 92 scope mount rails that basically, not scope mounts, but they're rail mounts that you basically can attach to any of these lever action guns, these Winchester 94s, and as long as they're top eject and they measure a certain measurement, they're fine. And it has measurements and everything else on his website. I've got the universal short rail. Let's see, it was at universalopticsrail.com. Universalopticsrails.com is the website you can visit that in. And I really enjoy Dr. Pearson's work, because he has a really high quality machined short rail and long rail for the Winchester 94 and Rossi 92. And really, overall, it's a high-quality basis for your optics, being if your eyes are getting older, and I know there's some older listeners to the show, if your eyes are getting older and you're aging, having good optics is so vitally important for making good shots and making good kills when it comes to hunting or shooting or anything like that. So I mean, this is an all-encompassing show this week. So basically, what this does is allows you to mount a laser. It allows you to mount a flashlight. It allows you to mount a scope, a long eye release scope, or it allows you to mount a red dot or a holographic sight or a reflex sight or anything like that. It's going to help aid you in shooting longer ranges and even in shorter ranges, be more tactical, if you will. So anyway, you can check out Mod 94 scope rail. Let me make sure I've got this down right. Mod 94 scoperail.com, or you can check out universalopticsrail.com. That's universalopticsrail.com. I want to make sure I get that right, and I'm going to put that in the show notes right now. That's what I'm doing. Okay, cool. And then those basically are no drill, no tap, no gunsmith rails. All of them are easy to install. You can install them on your own with just a couple of instructions, and they all come with instructions, and they come with great support. Dr. Pearson is an incredible guy when it comes to supporting his clients and any of his customers that have questions, anything like that. The service that he offers his people is phenomenal. So if you have an old lever gun that you like to put a rail on, a top eject Winchester 94, which are very common, or a top eject Rossi 92, mare's leg, or anything like that, that's not drilled and tapped already, these are a great solution for this. If you have somebody in your life that has one of these you would like to get a scope rail for, I mean, it's under $100 to get one of these rails, and you can buy optics on his website as well, and it's just a great gift is what I'm trying to say. The part for is just a great gift. So there you go. Pearson's tactical rails at universalopticsrail.com. Sorry, I'm talking too fast tonight. Flashlights. Y'all know I love flashlights. Lots of them. First one I'm going to review here is this Coast. It's the model number is not important. Coast lights are great. Coast HX5R. It's HX5R. It is a rechargeable, zoomable, pure beam focusable light, if I can say that 10 times fast. It basically has a USB charger that's built into the end cap. So you unscrew the end cap and you've got a USB charger. You can plug it into anything. It uses a rechargeable CR123 battery, so a tactical flashlight battery, if you will, that charges this bad boy up, and it's just a great light. It's small and compact. It's got a belt clip, or it's got not a belt clip, but a clip on it. You can clip it on your belt. You can clip it on your pocket, the inside of your pocket, or you can clip it on your hat. That's what I do a lot of times when I have my headlamp on. You can use it as a headlamp and just clip it to your hat. It gets a little heavy and cumbersome sometimes, but this one's lightweight. It wouldn't be that heavy and cumbersome for that reason. But Coast makes some good flashlights, guys. This is zoomable. This is two settings, like a high and low, and it's zoomable, so you can go in tight with the spotlight or out with the flood. I love flashlights, guys. You guys know that for me. I'm gonna pick up this other one that's a headlamp next, but that is a Coast rechargeable HX5R. I've got that in the show notes, and then I have this bad boy here, and I know this is great for radio or great for podcasting. You can't see what I'm holding in my hot little hands here, but this is a Coast tactical. Let's see, it's not tactical. It's a LED headlamp. It is zoomable, it is dimmable, and it also has a red and green LED for up close stuff. So it has the left side is basically for turning on and off the green LED or the red LED, and the right side is for turning on the light onto high, medium, or low. It has 3 settings, and then you have a zoomable focus. This is what I love about this thing. It's just a screw, like the whole flashlight unscrews to zoom. Let's see, zoom in to screw up, and then to screw down or to screw out. To screw, to screw in is to zoom, and then to screw out, back to its normal function is to screw out for the flood. I'm sorry, for the floodlight versus the spotlight. That's what I mean to say. Sorry, it's getting late here. I like to do these podcasts solo at night, so I get a little bit tongue-tied because I'm tired. But anyway, you got that zoomable flashlight, Rechargeable, as a rechargeable battery pack on it as well that you can plug in real easily. I mean, the technology of these flashlights, guys, is just ridiculous. I mean, this is just so much fun to be able to review this stuff. I'm not running a One Coast product I have not liked. They make knives, they make flashlights, they make ridiculously awesome headlamps, just so many great things. And the cost is really inexpensive for the most part for what you get. It's a durable product. I have the Polysteel 600R rechargeable flashlight that I got from them last SHOT Show in 2018, and then 2019 they gave me this this light to review, the HX5R, the rechargeable focusable beam light, and that headlamp that I just reviewed. And those two things this year, and I mean, I've had a blast with their stuff. I just can't get enough of it. The Polysteel light is like a dang weapon. You can use it as a club if you run out of power, you know. I mean, it's just like it's pretty tough, you know, and it's got a Polysteel coating and everything on it. It's like a rubberized steel. It's hard to explain, but it's basically very durable, and I've put it through all kinds of torture tests and stuff, and it's really held up well. The finish has, as well as the light itself, and that light, like most of their lights, are zoomable, focusable, and pure beam, which is their technology of white LED lights. Pure beam focusable, I think is what they call that. So really, Coast, yeah, go check them out. coastportland.com. That's coastportland.com. They're based here in the on the West Coast, Portland, Oregon, I believe, and products right from America. You can buy a lot of their stuff in Home Depot or Lowe's or places like that. A lot of your former, you know, your fundamental big box stores that are in America. But you can also find them online, find them on Amazon. I've got a couple of Amazon links that I'm plugging in here for finding some of their products that I'm reviewing on this show. So there you go. Moving on to flashlights. The MA3TY. I don't know quite how you say that in English. Matey, I guess is what you're trying to say. Tactical flashlight with offset Picatinny rail mount and pressure switch. This is one that you've got to see to believe. It's basically it's nothing really much bigger than this flashlight I have from Coast, but basically what it is a tactical flashlight. It's a on and off. It doesn't have anything really fancy or anything in it that you've got to do with it. But it's focusable, and it's just really, really high quality for your gun as far as mounting it on a gun. It comes with the offset mount, and it mounts at any Picatinny rail or Weaver rail, I guess, too. And basically, it's a white light that goes on your AR, and it's got a pressure switch. It's got everything that you need to get started. Nullipam came out with one, and then MA3TY came out with one after that, and I think the one that's MA3TY is here to stay, so that's why I'm reviewing it. I'm going to do a video review of that one on my YouTube channel if you want to stay tuned for that too. And they're a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoy their products. I've reviewed their Crossbow scope, which I'll get to there in a minute. Some of their other products. They're a Chinese company, but they sell on Amazon, and they've got really, really high quality stuff. And I've had a lot of good success. You know, kind of banged around their flashlight, this AR-15 flashlight, see how it would take recoil, and it's done very well. It's just a high quality, long, you know, not really long range, but more intermediate range white LED light for Cree LED, for your gun mounted use or just general navigation, blood tracking, anything like that. So there's another one. So I'm getting to my third light that I'm going to review this podcast, and that is the VASTFIRE green red UV LED combo flashlight. And what it is basically 3 separate LEDs and 3 separate cones in a flashlight head. It runs off a 18650 battery, just like a lot of the other flashlights do. If it's not a CR123, but a lot of these ones, especially from China, run off of a not CR123, either 2 CR123s or a 18650 battery. And basically what this VASTFIRE does, the VASTFIRE, they claim to get out to 350 yards in the dedicated green light. So I've reviewed the dedicated green light. I've reviewed the 3-in-1 UV green and red LED light that they have on one LED. And it's not that bright. It's great for bow hunting and maybe crossbow hunting, but not really super for long range. But it's good for short range navigation. This light that I've got here, which is VASTFIRE, the combination of 3 different LED bulbs. And I don't even say the word bulbs, but three different Cree LED compartments in one head. is just amazing. It's the brightest UV light I've owned out of all my UV lights, ultraviolet lights for finding blood at night and finding organic matter and stuff like that at night when you're tracking blood. It's great for that. That kind of highlights blood so you can kind of see what you're looking at. And then the green's pretty green. Green's pretty pretty bright. It's not as bright as a dedicated green flashlight, but to have 3-in-1 is a nice deal. And then red is really bright too. So reaching out there and touching them at 100 yards or so with one flashlight and then having UV to track your blood down and everything like that, it's a great combination if you want my humble opinion. Now, the other one that's come out is VASTFIRE. VASTFIRE's competitor is MA3TY, and they've come out with a 3-in-1, but instead of being ultraviolet, it's white. So you have red, green, and white on the MA3TY, and then you have, and I'll review that on another podcast. And then they have a the other one is from VASTFIRE is green, white, green, red, and ultraviolet, and so it just comes down to your preference. I like to have UV in the field, but I also like white light, so I always carry a dedicated white flashlight, and then I'm going to start carrying this VASTFIRE 3-in-1 that has the UV, the red, and the green, because it's kind of the best of all three worlds of having a dedicated white flashlight in 3 colors and 1 light and another flashlight. So just some food for thought there. Getting some water here, sorry. So anyway, you've got some options there. These all can be ordered off of Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. They're not hundreds and hundreds of dollars like most of this stuff. And most of the stuff that I'm reviewing here does not cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars either. This is stuff that's for a budget outdoorsman, that's reliable, that's dependable, that's stuff that's going to help you out. And it's not going to cost you a mint to get in and out of it. That's why I review stuff that I can easily buy on Amazon, because it's easy for you to buy. And that's the way that works. So moving right along past flashlights is camping and hunting gear. ALPS OutdoorZ Extreme Pursuit X Hunting Backpack. This is one that I requested ALPS send me to review because I needed a new hunting backpack. Guys, I've been using the same hunting backpack since 1998 when I graduated high school, and that's been well over 20 years now. Basically, what the ALPS deal did is help me consider a minimalist lifestyle. I can carry plenty of gear, but I don't need every piece of gear, and it helps me organize it very well. So it's basically having the gear that I need at my fingertips without having it all in a big mess. And it kind of there are organization compartments in it. They're really easy places to stash things, and little pockets here and there and that kind of stuff. And I mean, overall, it's hard to explain this through the radio format here, through the audio only format, but it is really a high quality piece of machinery. If you want to call a backpack a piece of machinery, it's a really high, I shouldn't say that. It's a really high quality material. It's a really high quality workmanship, really high quality zipper pulls, zippers, just fabric, the finish, the care, then the ergonomics, and the economics of this is not expensive. It's under $200 for this particular backpack, so it's a little higher end than some of the other stuff that I review. But the nice thing, it has a gun or bow holder. It's got a wide variety of different pockets and places to put stuff and stash stuff and everything like that. And it's durable. I mean, the thing is, the reason I like my backpack from high school so much is when I was going through high school, I kept on busting through shoulder straps. They kept on coming out and done on me. So I ended up getting like a Smithsonian, like a Samsonite. I almost said Smithsonian. That's funny. Samsonite backpack, and my Samsonite backpack lasted me the ages because it was made of like a strong canvas. And this backpack reminds me of this ALPS backpack does, because you can tell it's made with really high quality material, really good workmanship. There's nothing they skipped on this. And they also make, just to give a plug for the ALPS other stuff, other products, they also make turkey hunting backpacks that have kind of a seat built into them. They've got all kinds of other different outdoor gear. But packs are what they're very well known for. And they've also teamed up with Sonserco, and I forget whoever else they teamed up with, but they do a lot of strategic partnerships with the different strategies and stuff like that in their marketing. And I really think that who they're being represented by now is doing a good job for them. And then also the whole basis of their pack and the design and the engineering. That's what I was trying to say earlier. The engineering of the backpack is really, really smart, the way they talked about this stuff. And then I get into another backpack that I received since we last spoke about product review stuff, and that's Crazy Ants. Yes, I know that's a crazy name. It's Crazy Ants tactical backpack. And basically Crazy Ants is a black tactical backpack that I own, that I'm going to use as a backup backpack, kind of a bug out bag kind of situation. And it's a really cool, it's like 4 backpacks in one. You have 2 side backpacks that you can attach to the sides through MOLLE attachments. You have one almost like a small first aid bag that mounts at the bottom of the front of the backpack. And then it's got shoulder straps. It's comfortable. It carries well. I did a review on YouTube about this. I really, really am impressed with the quality of workmanship. And this is an overseas company that made this. But I mean, these guys, I mean, the stuff that makes it on Amazon, guys, is not junk anymore. I mean, there used to be stuff you get from overseas that is just going to be trash. And I'm not saying there's still not some stuff out there that is, but Crazy Ants makes a good backpack, and I'm getting ready to review a second one of theirs that is on its way to Amazon's warehouse now. I'm going to order a sling bag, kind of a smaller hunting pack that I want to use. I'm really big into gear, as you guys know, and I'm really big in storing that gear in places. If I've got a turkey hunting backpack, I've got a hog and deer hunting backpack, I've got a varmint hunting backpack, that kind of stuff. That's what my goal is, to have something I can kind of run and gun with, no matter what the situation where I'm called out. And you guys know how much I love to hunt. I love to fish too. So there you go. On that same note, but yeah, lots of Crazy Ants, lots of great stuff to say about this backpack. A lot of compartments, a lot of different places to store stuff, a lot of mesh pockets, and all kinds of different stuff. There's an area you can put your laptop in. There's an area you can put a bladder in, for drinking water and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just a really, really well thought out backpack, and good engineering again, and good design, and high quality zippers, high quality zipper pulls, that kind of stuff too. So that's what I look at in a backpack for sure, is those kind of things. All right, so next up, moving right along here, talking about Yeacool. I think that's the way you say it. Yeacool Survival Camping Axe and Multi-Tool Kit. This thing is just crazy, okay? It's an axe, all right? So it's an axe you can use at your camp, if you're at fish camp, if you're at hunting camp, wherever you are, anywhere in the outdoors. If you're just at a state park or at a county park or a city park, or whatever the case may be, you need to chop up some firewood or cut some kindling or anything like that you've got going on that you need to do, some cutting on and some chopping on. A good axe is hard to beat, and this axe is very affordable. I own one. I've had one for the last few months, and I love the versatility of this thing. It's light, but it's strong. It's not made cheaply. The head and everything like that all stays together. It's a one-piece head assembly that they had. They didn't used to have that. They used to have a removable bolt, and then they got rid of that design and did a one-piece assembly axe head. And I'm really excited about this. I love having something you can just throw in your backpack and roll with, as an emergency piece of equipment, as a safety piece of equipment. If you're going out in the woods and somewhere, if you get lost or something, you've got to be able to make fire. You got to be able to chop wood, that kind of stuff. This is something that can help you survive in some cases. And then it has all kinds of multi-tools, and I mean all kinds of multi-tools, knives. I mean, just a ton of stuff, and there's knives, there's a compass, there's areas that you can put fishing wire and fishing, line and stuff like that in there. There's just a whole host of different stuff that comes with this thing in a multi-tool scenario that you can do all kinds of different outdoor activities with. It doesn't dawn on you until you get the package in, and it goes, you can chop and you can chisel and you can, cut and you can, this, that, and the other. And it's just like, wow. I mean, I didn't know one tool could do so many things. So that's one thing, is the innovation and the engineering that impresses me on these kind of things, is because I'm just like, wow, I didn't know it could do that too. That's kind of cool. So, that's a lot of fun. All right, moving on to crossbow scopes. MA3TY, the other company that I talked about earlier with the flashlights, has a 1.5 to 5 power by 32 millimeter crossbow scope. I reviewed this on my YouTube channel, and I thought I reviewed this in the last gear review podcast mashup that I did, but I did not. I've skipped this one. It's because I just received it when I did my last one last spring. I guess it was last spring, and I got this this crossbow scope. Listen, my son got to shoot the Barnett Whitetail Hunter Pro, which is my personal crossbow, and then he has a Raptor Reverse that I've let him use from Barnett, and Raptor Reverse is built a lot more for him. It's basically a lot smaller frame crossbow, reverse limb crossbow, and basically that all being said, I got him in front or behind the Whitetail Hunter Pro, and he shoots a bullseye with his first shot out of the gate. When I just let him shoot it, and I basically got him on this new rest that I'm going to review in a future podcast called the Field Max Bog Pod Field Max Rest, or Field Pod Max, I think is what it's called. Anyway, I'll get all that for you next show. Basically, I'm doing a little review at fishgame.com on a couple of these Field Max rests that are basically full gun rests that is tripod that you can basically set your full gun and the weight of your full gun on. And you've got a stable shooting position. It's great for kids, man. So I'm going to talk about that in a future podcast and a future gear review online. But I got him set up on that, and he was just shooting like a champ, man. Bullseye. First shot out of the gate, and really did well with it. So I can't wait to take him hunting with that thing. But I say that just to say that he got to use my new crossbow scope that I've been using on that. And the variable zoom basically is a thing that happens when you can... you dial in your scope zoom to the speed of the scope. There's two different sets of numbers on there. One that has the 1.5 to 5 variable setting magnification on the scope that's variable. And then the other one is how many feet per second your bow is shooting. And so I've dialed mine to right below 400. I think it's 390 feet per second when this crossbow shoots. And I've got it dialed in. And basically what happens is that it's a reticle that basically expands or contracts depending if you go in or go out with it, or if you go higher magnification or lower magnification. And what that does is basically helps you zero in the longer radius of the longer range of the other yardages. Now, I'll say this before and I'll say this again. If any of you guys listen to this on YouTube and looking at my other YouTube videos, look, don't bet the whole farm on one horse. Just because the gradient of the mark is on that reticle, it does not mean that's where your bullet, bolt, or arrow is going to hit. Okay, have confidence in practice. Okay, and that's where you really get to know what 30 yards and 40 yards and that line for 30 yards and 40 yards means. It could be 32 yards or 38 yards or whatever the case may be. You got to make sure you shoot and practice your stuff. I had a good friend of mine that this summer did not take the time to practice, and he missed 3 deer this year and wounded one of them. And it's because he didn't take the time to practice and just have the time to practice if you're hunting in a special situation. And it's just one of those things where if you put the practice in, there's a lot less guesswork and you know exactly where to aim. So my whole point of that is just to say, do your homework, do your practice in the backyard or the archery range or whatever at 30 yards, at 40 yards, at 50 yards, and so on and so forth, and see where you're hitting at those gradients on the scope. So that way you don't bet the whole farm that 50 yards is going to be this line right here because that's what the scope says, okay? Every crossbow is going to be a little bit different, and you want to make sure your crossbow matches your scope. Always practice with practice broadheads when you're getting ready to hunt with them, and shoot to kill. That's one thing that I recommend all of the advice that I give on this show. With ammunition, make sure you're hunting with the same ammunition that you're practicing with. Make sure you're hunting with the same bolts that you're going to shoot when it's D-Day on your crossbow or compound bow hunting. And the same deal goes with practice broadheads for sure. Make sure you're shooting to kill. That's important. All right, fishing gear real quick. We've talked a lot about hunting and camping stuff, but I've got 3 fishing products I'm going to throw in there to the mashup of today's podcast. And you guys have been with me for almost an hour, so I appreciate that very much. Listening to me screaming to the microphone here. Bubba Blade. I've not really talked a lot on this podcast about Bubba Blade. I don't think. Maybe I have. It's late. So Bubba Blade basically makes 7, 9, and I think even a 12-inch fillet knife. I use a 9-inch Bubba Blade, and basically Battenfield Technologies, BTI, the American Outdoor Brands owns them now. They bought them out from the guy John that used to own Bubba Blade. Anyway, long story short, got introduced to their Bubba Blade knives at the Delacroix event I went to in 2018, or no, it was 2017, and fell in love. I've been an electric fillet knife and American angler knife for a long time. I've been a guy that loves fillet knives that are electric. I never really figured out how to do a good knife, a good fillet on old school, mechanical knife, just regular fillet knife without the mechanics of the reciprocating blades. And basically what I would do is just, fillet my fish and go on, and I always have to have power. But then some days I wouldn't have power where I was cleaning fish and that kind of stuff, and it would be a problem. The Bubba Blade's probably the smoothest, most durable, keeps its edge the longest kind of blade that I've used. And it's durable in the sense that it's built for saltwater use. It's built to be stain resistant. It's built to be rust resistant. It's got a titanium coating on it. It's got this nice wrap on it that basically keeps the stickier it gets, the wetter it gets. I mean, it's just really smart the way that they've gone through and designed all this stuff. And I'm just a big fan of their products. So basically, they have the tapered flex, they have the standard flex, they have the stiff. They've got a wide variety of different knives. So check them out. They're rebranding everything Bubba instead of Bubba Blade. And they also have, the other thing I was going to mention are the 7.5-inch pliers, 7.5-inch fishing pliers that I used. And I used these this past weekend and used my Bubba Blade this past weekend too. So this is all gear that I've been using, I promise. Really high quality blade, really high quality pliers. They're stainless steel. The jaws are stainless steel. They're the pliers. It's hard to explain this, but the pliers automatically come open when you're not holding them, or when you return to the sheath. They obviously stay closed, and they have a nice nylon sheath. And so does a Bubba Blade knife. Has a nylon sheath. It's really good to put your stuff in, but put your knife in. And basically, when you have the jaws out of the pliers out of the sheath. The jaws kind of open a little bit, so it's easy for you, instead of having to open the jaws and close the jaws and open the jaws, it kind of springs open a little bit. So it makes, getting hooks out of fish really easy, because those jaws automatically open for you, and you can just go in there and clamp down and pull your hook out. I like that a lot. Daddy liked that. So I think that overall is good feature. They also have some pistol grip pliers that they're coming out with this year. I don't have those yet, but I'm going to get those, and I'm going to get a whole host of other Bubba Blade stuff to review in writing and visual and podcast audio form here before long, because I'm a big fan of what they're up to, man. It's just too much fun. So check out Bubba Blade Knives. I've got a couple of links to the Amazon links. You can check them out, but obviously you can go and search Bubba Blade. They're really easy to find on the internet, and American Outdoor Brands is doing a fantastic job with what they are doing with that company right now, rebranding and redoing the logo and that kind of stuff. Is really cool. All right, last thing, then I'll let you go. You guys can go listen to something else if you want to. I just thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough for listening to this podcast for all these years. Gamakatsu's waterproof fishing dry bag and backpack. It's they call it a dry bag, but it's basically has straps on it where you can wear it as a backpack. And it's this big red and black bag that has, like I said, straps on the front of it or the back of it that are for your back. To wear on your backpack as a backpack, and it's just a big long tackle storage device. It's kind of a loose bag, but it's waterproof. It's tough. I've reviewed some other tough products like that for tackle storage before, but it's just right for a big guy like me that likes to carry a lot of tackle out to the water. Gamakatsu came out with a series of tackle boxes not long ago that are plastic storage containers and stuff like that. They've got a wide variety of bass fishing and freshwater lures. I mean, they've got hooks, of course, hooks galore. Good night. They make some saltwater hooks, freshwater hooks, all kinds of different things like that. And just really high quality amount of stuff that they do. Gamakatsu does. And I know Sid Reeves, one of their national sales managers, and I really have to thank the world of that guy and that company, because they just really bring the heat when it comes to putting all this stuff together at these events that we go to, and stocking us with a lot of fishing stuff we can try at home. They have like a double jointed, is what I call it, mouse lure that's kind of a topwater lure that you can fish, and they've got frogs. They've got a whole bunch of different bass stuff that you may have not even thought about fishing with. I mean, they've got just a wide variety of different stuff. So Gamakatsu hooks, Gamakatsu lure, Spro lures as well. But the Gamakatsu is the one that makes this fishing bag, and this is probably one of the nicest pieces of fishing tackle that I own as far as a storage bag. Because I own, all the different ones that you can get at Walmart and Academy and stuff like that, and they're all good. But this is good for keeping a lot of tackle close by and not having to carry a lot of stuff around, where you can just wear it on your back. It's really, really convenient, and it costs under $20. I mean, it's really a smart buy there if you're looking to buy something like that. Amazon link for that too. Big surprise. So. Anyway, I got links for all these, and I really appreciate you guys watching, reading, and listening. It does not cost you anything to get into this podcast, guys, and to get this podcast to listen to. And I try to bring you what I call this podcast, The Best of the Outdoors. I try to bring you a wide variety of different outdoor topics and a wide variety of different things that you'd like to hear, I hope. And if you'd like to hear anything specific on the show, like I've had some people say, I want you to talk more about South Texas hunting and fishing. I want you to talk more about coastal. I want you to talk about more saltwater. Whatever the case may be, email me, guys. Look me up through dustinsprojects.com, or just private message me, PM me on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, if we're not friends on Facebook yet. And if we're not, what are you thinking about, man? Friend me on Facebook, dude. I mean, we're cool. We go way back, all right? Especially if you listen to the show for a while, man. I feel like I've got a bond with each and every one of you guys that do, and can't thank you guys enough. So if you love the show, let me know. If you hate the show, let me know. I mean, I can always be like the discount tire commercial and just throw the tire through the window, So I always joked around about that when I was in another line of work that I did before I came to work for Texas Fishing Game. So anyway, but honestly, I mean, all joking aside, I really appreciate you guys watching, reading, and listening. Check out and do not forget to sign up for our newsletters if you've not done so already. You get Tactical and Practical, which is Tuesday. You get Wildlife Wednesday, which is, guessed it, Wednesday. You get the Thursday Texas State of the Outdoor Nation, which has the Wednesday and the Tuesday newsletters combined into Thursday, which has more stories, and you'll see some of my content in there, and some of Chester's, and some of all of the different outdoor writers that we have that are banging out content there. And man, I just try to stack this stuff solid. I try to give everybody a lot of value for their money. Try to make sure everybody's happy, which is impossible, but I at least try to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered and stuff on the show, and also that you get the information that you need and that you are craving and looking for online at fishgame.com through our newsletter that Chester releases 3 times a week. Also, we have Hog Wild, which is our next newsletter in the title of one of Chester's books, coming up here in next month, I believe is when that starts in May. And then right after that, the Whitetail National, and right now we're in the middle of the Turkey, American Turkey newsletter, or the Turkey Revolution newsletter. I forget what Chester's calling the Turkey newsletter, but anyway, Turkey Talk, or whatever the case may be. It's a good newsletter, and he just released one today, which will be last week when you're hearing this. Really solid information on turkey hunting and having fun in the outdoors for turkey biology. And that's the thing, guys. We're not all just about catching and killing stuff here. We're big about conservation. And you guys know that from listening to this podcast before. I care about preserving this resource for our next future, for our next generation, for our kids. And that's so important to me, because the more that I do this show, the more I work in this industry, the more I realize that we have a sustainable resource. And that's why we have Texas Parks and Wildlife that does all of our management of the trout rules and the gar rules and all the different rules that have come about here lately with the trout limits and the gar on the Trinity and all that other stuff. But that all being said, guys, I mean, it's just, I care about this resource for the future, and I know if you're listening to this show, you do too, or you wouldn't be listening. It's just one of those things. It's not, there comes a times I talked about on the last show where you've caught and killed everything, you know, that matters to you. You know, it's time to give back, and it's time to invest in the future of our youth, and invest in the future of kids and adults even, that don't understand hunting and fishing, and don't understand why we do what we do, why we have these treks in the outdoors like we do, and amazing, you know, adventures that we have all over the world, you know, a lot of us, and why we spend the money and why we spend the time on boats and baits and tackle and rods and reels and guns and ammo and bows and crossbows and stuff like that. It's because we love the sport. It's because we love the tradition. We love the heritage of what hunting and fishing provides for us and for our family. And me personally, I prefer the food too, because we have not had to buy a lot of beef in our household. Maybe chicken, but not so much beef, because of all the deer and hogs that we shoot. So anyway, I'm excited. So anyway, I'm fired up. I'm kind of dragging on this podcast again. We're right at about an hour, so I will let you guys get back to what you were doing in your regularly scheduled life. And thank you guys so much again for watching, reading, and listening. Have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.